Interesting.
Hello guys and girls, how are you doing? You alright? Today we will be looking at the real life events that led to a tragic climax. Fitting of the fictional character that our antagonist is so obsessed with. Our tale takes place in the central English city of Nottingham, a city famous for Robin Hood and coincidentally is 8 miles from a village named Gotham, which it would seem was actually the inspiration for the Gotham City in the Batman comics. This village is known for the Mad Men of Gotham or the Wise Men of Gotham, which relates to an incident where they all pretended to be mad so that the villainous King John wouldn't visit the village. This came to be seen as the home of dissidents by a few American presidents, which led to the writer of Batman using the name in his comics. Anyway, around 2016, the inhabitants of Nottingham would start to tell tales of a mysterious man lurking in the shadows. A man dressed as the Joker who would approach them and ask them if they wanted to see a card trick. This man would also walk into the middle of the road, point his walking cane at cars, ordering them to stop, then manically laugh while walking off. Oh yeah, he also threatened to stab people with a flute. I'm not sure how true these things are, as I'm just basing them off of the comments of one video, which is the only real footage that we have of the Joker of Nottingham. Some things that we do know for sure is that his name is Damien Hammond. He is around 34 years old. He has some kind of mental illness. He is a self-proclaimed obsessive of the Joker, dressing up as him often. He has been mostly homeless and he really likes committing crime. The tragic end of this story is very well documented, but we know very little about his early life, apart from the fact that he has been convicted of over 100 criminal offences dating back to the age of 12. In 2016, he was sentenced to 12 months in prison for wounding, and in 2018, he went on what police describe as a crime wave. In 2018, he was taken to court and convicted of theft, possession of an offensive weapon, and indecent exposure. For this, he was given a 21-week suspended sentence, with the judge saying that the Joker makeup had a sinister aggravating effect on his victims. Damien is an agent of chaos, so he is never going to let the threat of prison stop him. In October 2018, he was taken to court for many offences, including criminal damage, obstructing a police officer by striking him on the head, disorderly conduct when he waved a gun-shaped lighter at cars while standing in the middle of the road, possession of cannabis, and many other crimes. At this court case, Hammond would give the thumbs up when his makeup was described as representing Jack Nicholson's version of the Joker. Damien was convicted and given an 11-week prison sentence on top of the suspended sentence that he got in April. He was also banned from entering the city centre for 3 years. After he was sentenced, Hammond would shout out, "Send me to prison, I don't care. See what you have done, I will kill today." He then vowed to stab prison officers and inmates when he arrived at prison. I'm guessing that he didn't actually do this, as in June 2019 he was back in court again, after a policeman arrested him for entering the city centre. During the struggle, both the policeman and the Joker fell into a canal and got all wet. The British version of Batman is a little less explosive. For this, Damien was given an £80 fine. He already owed the courts £1,191 for previous offences, and he was homeless and begging, so it's hard to see what the point of this fine was. This court case was to be the last chance that the Joker would have to change his ways, but sadly this tale doesn't have a happy ending. On the 30th of December 2019, Mark Poyser would wake up ready to face another day working for the council as a street cleaner. He would go through his morning routine, bid farewell to his family and join his co-worker to go and collect a broken TV that had been left in the street. The pair would start to pick up the smashed glass from the screen using their feet to push it onto a shovel, when all of a sudden a strange man appeared above them, leaning out of a second floor window and began to shout at them. The man was claiming saying that the TV was his and he would be down to collect it later. Mark Poyser and Damien Hammond would exchange words, with Poyser being quoted to say, "Do what you want." Then everything went black for him. 3 days later, Mr. Poyser would wake up on the neurological ward with a fractured skull, bleeding on his brain and severe brain damage. On the 30th of December 2019, Damien Hammond had been smoking a synthetic drug called Mamba for 3 days straight and was feeling paranoid. This wasn't helped by the fact that he had stopped taking his medication. He had been given a bedsit just a few months beforehand, so was no longer living on the streets, but this hadn't helped with his lifestyle. Damien would hear a noise outside, so he went to take a look what it was. Upon looking out of his window, he saw two men clearing up evidence of him. These are his words. Damien then assumed that once they had finished clearing up evidence of him, they would come up and kill him. That old chestnut, I'm sure we've all been there. In an effort to try and stop these men clearing up evidence of him, he would try to scare them off by shouting at them, to which the men didn't just run off scared, so Damien went back into his bedsit, wrapped a bowling ball in a pair of jeans, and in an underarm motion he threw the denim-covered bowling ball out of the second floor window, striking Mr. Poyser on the head. On the 30th of December 2019, Nottingham police received a call from a female bystander about a violent incident taking place. Upon arrival, they found an unconscious man covered in blood, a bowling ball wrapped in denim, and a broken TV. After the unconscious man was taken to hospital, a standoff with the police and Damien would ensue that lasted several hours. Damien would throw items at them as the officers tried to negotiate with him. He would also climb onto his window ledge and threaten them with a hammer. The standoff would eventually come to an end when Damien set himself on fire and jumped out of the window, where the smouldering mess was arrested by the police. In the court case, details of the extent of the injuries caused to Mr. Poyser were revealed. These included blackouts, seizures, a change in personality, and the need to carry a card around in order to explain his odd behaviour to members of the public. Damien was found guilty and given a 16-year sentence, which was made up of a 12-year prison sentence and a 4-year extended licence period. The judge in the case is quoted to say, "You are a volatile individual who will almost certainly offend again, and it would be short-sighted of me if I were not to protect the public. You are dangerous and you need to be released only when the danger has subsided." He would also go on to describe the crime as a wicked act. There is not much information on Damien Hammond outside of the news articles about his crimes and just one video that I could find with him in. This is a clip from a TV show about the police in Nottingham. In the show, the police are called when a man dressed as the Joker spray paints the floor of a shop. Obviously, it doesn't take Sherlock Holmes to work out who the main suspect for this one is. He is arrested and given a suspended sentence. The TV show did do a brief interview with Damien, so we know what his voice sounds like.
And I figure if I'm dressing like the Joker and I'm dressing as a villain, I should be allowed to be a villain and get away with it.
This is the only video footage on Damien that I could find. Not even someone doing a video on their phone, which is unusual these days. Another weird thing about the story is that someone has set up a change.org page to try and get Damien released from prison. It hasn't really taken off and only has 17 signatures, but it's a thing that exists. Damien is clearly a very troubled man longing to escape his true self. I mean, what kind of loser pretends to be the Joker? Lame. This topic was recommended to me by a very persistent person, so thanks for that. I hope you're happy and that you bloody leave me alone now. Only joking. I already know what video I'm making next, but I thought I'd let you guys vote on the one that I do after that, as this channel is a symbiotic endeavour. So you have 4 options, and if you just leave a comment of the surname of the person that you want, once I'm ready to make the video, I'll just do a search of the surnames and count them up and make that video. So the first person is Alex Jones, so just write Jones if you want that one. Second, we have Jason Blaha, so just write Blaha. Or you could have Shay St. John, so just write St. John. Or last but not least, Frederick Philip Lenz III, so just write Lenz. Cast your vote and we'll see who wins. I thought that I'd leave you with a nursery rhyme about the people of Gotham Village. 3 wise men of Gotham, they went to sea in a bowl, and if the bowl had been stronger, my song would have been longer. I'm not sure why I like that so much, but I love it. Watch this video about the Nightmare of the North, Purple-Aki. A big thanks to the channel members and the Patreons. I've got an exclusive video coming for you guys soon. It's about a very degenerate YouTuber and it's pretty disgusting and gross. Hope you like it. Thanks for watching. Do the like and subscribe thing and bye-bye.
Have you seen the Joker?